All right. And here we go. And 3, 2, 1.
What is going down, everyone? It's time for Mojobreak.com's The Hype episode number 150. I can't believe we've done 150 episodes. Thank you for joining us today. Make sure you subscribe to our brand new Mojobreak media channel, and there still is time to win yourself a free Topps Chrome box. Watch the last episode. You'll find out how you can enter. But this episode, we've got some great topics. There's been a lot of new people jumping into this hobby, so we're going to go over some of the bigger scams to avoid, the top 5 biggest scams. So I know a lot of you guys are seasoned vets. You can be like, I already know all this stuff, but there's a lot of new people coming in that may fall victim to some of these scams, and we need to eliminate these people from our great community. We're also going to talk about Damian Lillard. Had a huge game yesterday against LeBron, so we're going to talk about some of his valuable cards and where you should invest and compare it to some of the current stars, as well as we're going to kick off the show talking about some Mosaic. But first off, we've got our product debuting this Friday. It's been a long time since we came out with a buyback. It is Mojobreak Rare Numbers. This is Volume 4. We've purchased some of the best cards in the hobby. Luka, Zion, Pat Mahomes, Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, LeBron James. The list goes on and on. Neymar Jr. All in this product. It's a 25-case run. Cases are packed out in advance. We do it random number style so we can keep the price point down. It's just $49.99 to get a spot. Every spot gets a random number from 1 through 99, and that applies at every card, or most of the cards are all numbered. So fun way to get into a break. You can watch some of our older Mojo Rare numbers and see what's going on with those and jump in. It's only 25 cases, and there's some gigantic cards. Dan, what is going down?
It's aight.
Your day or life?
Everything.
Everything's aight.
The product coming out, it's aight.
It's aight.
The day's aight. It's aight.
And that's AIGHT, right?
That's how you spell it.
Aight.
That's it. Aight.
Aight. C-Rad, are you better than Aight?
Dame Dollar.
Dame Dollar, baby.
Yeah, I'm feeling good today.
You know, Cloud 9 after that. East Oakland.
Yes, sir.
Doing the anthem out there.
Oh yeah, that was a beautiful moment.
It was.
After he hit that Logo Man 3.
I think he won me over, man, because it was like, you know, I very rarely laugh during watching basketball games, but I laugh watching Steph, and then last night I found myself laughing during the game. I mean,
because he's just so ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just so silly. It's like video game status, and he hit that almost half court 3.
Yep, 2 of them in a row, right? Almost in a row.
It was just
I feel bad for the other 4 guys on the court though, because they weren't going to get the ball. Like he's sitting there dribbling around, just like trying to create his own shot, and he does this like crazy. I mean, there's only a handful of guys who can actually attempt that shot and not get benched for the rest of the game.
Yes. Well, LeBron tried to hit a deep one too, and
he
his
did.
hit the front of the rim. It looked horrible, but he was trying to.
Speaking
be like,
of that, did you guys see the how Kenny the Jet Smith was saying that Steph can't hit shots like that? And then there's like a highlight reel of Steph hitting like them over and over and like in so many different games.
Yeah, it's like I know Steph hasn't played this year,
it's like,
really,
Jet,
but
did you forget?
I know. It's
One
like,
year?
What have you done for me lately? I guess 3 championships aren't enough. But we're gonna get right into talking about Mosaic, and I don't think C-Rad knows the price of this yet, so we'll get into that.
Mosaic football.
Mosaic football. So
okay.
I'm gonna get back to you on this one, but. So we're going to start off. So Mosaic football is coming to football for the first time. We all know it from basketball this year and how hot those cards were with the prisms and the Mosaic prisms and all the colors and the inserts, the stained glass. You can look them up on eBay. You can see how much the LeBron stained glass are going for. You can see how much some of the colors of the Zions are going for. But it comes to football, and it's got a format very similar. This is the hobby version. It's got a very similar format to basketball, where it's 10 packs per box, 15 cards per pack. You get 2 autographs, 5 silver prisms, 15 Mosaic parallels, and 20 inserts per box. And you got the new rookie class. So you're chasing Tua, you're chasing Burrows, you're chasing Swift, you're chasing Young. Maybe there's going to be somebody that breaks out that you're going to be chasing. Some of the images they show, you can see the stained glass insert makes its appearance in football as well. And that's the rookie design. I hate how Panini doesn't have the new photos. So no, Kyler Murray is not a rookie again. That's just them showing you what the rookie card will be. So before I get into it, what do you think a major online I'm going to ask this to C-Rack because I know Dan already knows the answer. What do you think a major online retailer is pre-selling this at?
You want my box price or my case price?
Your box price.
My box price. Okay. First year they're doing Mosaic because we've never even got Prism Mosaic before, right?
Never.
For football.
This is the first time for anything that is not basketball, right?
My price is going to be based off of what I've seen the recent products going for, which is high. $300 a box.
Mm-hmm.
Your response plays right into our segment. So we're coming out at $850 a box on Mosaic football.
What?
Football don't work like that. Football.
Who they think they selling?
Football collectors don't work like that, though.
850.
the
We're talking about football,
rookies,
right?
the rookies.
This is football. Unless there was a mistake. So now this is a major online retailer, and I consider three. There's three out there. I know there's some littler ones that you may say fourth and fifth. But out of the three major online retailers, only one has it available at this price. The other ones act like they don't have it.
Scared to put it on the market.
They
don't want
know.
to. They don't want to basically undersell it.
So I wanted to get your guys' opinion. I mean, basketball is based on the parallel. Football, I don't know. I mean, we see the Mahomes PSA 10 silver prisms are going for a lot of money.
Yeah,
Once
Mahomes
again,
did change the game.
But that is
Prism.
That is Mahomes.
Yeah.
That is one guy. That's Mahomes. And I can go get a Mitchell Trubisky silver.
we have one.
We have one. $20, $25, $30, maybe $100. I don't know. But like, it wouldn't be, $6,000. The basketball collector has always been more about the parallels
And the base
and the
cards.
rookies and the base cards.
Mhm.
And football collectors have always been about
The hits.
the RPAs, the prime patches, the shields,
Yeah.
the autos. I don't see a crossover here, but we're pricing it, or it's being priced like there is a crossover, that there is going to be the same demand for a Burrows rookie card as there would be a Zion rookie card.
We are.
Yeah.
What's going on?
We want you guys to weigh in the chat. I mean, obviously, not the average consumer can afford an $850 box.
Oh my goodness, man.
And we don't know the singles. Maybe the singles will dictate. We don't know. But
We don't know. None of
what
us
we
know.
can do is
They
we can go
better
off
at
the
850.
history.
They have to. Well, that's also the other thing. Because of the box being priced this high out of the gate, you have to put a significant value on the rookies, any rookie, in order. I mean, if you buy a box for $850 and you pull a Herbert silver, I wouldn't run it at 99 cents.
Right.
It should get a premium, but I wouldn't take that chance. I would basically, you got to do a buy it now or best offer if you put it on eBay.
Well, and here's the thing. When does this product come out? That was one of the
That's
things.
probably soon.
I think retail is coming out first, which will cause some pandemonium, and that's maybe why the retailers are doing this, because the retail blasters are going to be kind of the same thing as Chronicles. You already see it online, where you can see some of the comments online already on Twitter of people saying, Mosaic football, I need it. You've also got Mosaic football going to be fire.
Flame.
Just show me Mosaic football, and I can go back to living my life normally after I rip some. So there's definitely some demand, but they know it's going to be in Target and Walmart, and everybody's going to miss out because there's going to be one guy that's
Camping out.
slipping 100 to the guy that delivers them.
More
And
than
people
100,
camp
dude.
out now.
And people camp out now as well. So
More than 100.
more than 100.
More
So
than
Yeah, the other thing we gotta talk about too is that
so you're looking at September 11th. So you're
September
going to
11th,
have what, 1 or 2 weeks of football in the books at that point?
That's general. That's what I was just about to get to. Usually by this time we would get like some preseason games, so there'll be a little bit of hype, of some of the new rookies and seeing kind of what they're doing early. We're not like with the way do we say football doesn't even start though.
Well, I mean, training camp's going on.
Yeah.
There may be
There-
some highlights of that.
There's going to be highlights of that. I mean, Hard Knocks is going down, so
Yeah.
I can see Herbert, Hard Knocks is running a lot on Herbert, so I could see his card prices going up. I mean, they've already announced, I think, that Tyrod Taylor is going to be the starter, but Herbert is obviously going to be the future.
And he's going to be, like you said, he's on Hard Knocks, so
he's on Hard Knocks, so
some eyeballs on
he's
him.
going to get some eyeballs. It's the closest thing to a preseason game we're going to have.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you're right.
The funny thing is that you're probably going to see whatever rookies that are on either the Rams or the Chargers are probably going to get a significant bump that they would not get if there was preseason games.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's also the thing that I just kind of came to the grips of is that, you have training camp. Me as a Niner fan, I see Jimmy coming in his pads. I see Bosa doing workouts. This could actually inflate the market because the teams may only show highlights of Joe Burrow throwing an 80-yard bomb to whoever on the team, and then you're just like, look at his arm. Well, you didn't see the other 3 interceptions he possibly threw during practice, right? Because it's getting filtered onto their own social medias. And that's the only way we're probably digesting anything preseason, right? So it may be the ultimate fluff job for football for some of these guys, or like some running back jumps over a guy. Oh, well, now I got to collect him. Look how high he jumped. I mean, could have the bowl effect. But I think I came to the conclusion that I think the reason why Mosaic's going up is because I think Zion is playing football, or he used to.
That's I think, is that Lawrence Taylor?
That is.
LT.
Yeah.
He's playing for the Giants this year, I guess, apparently. So I think people are chasing his Mosaic cards in football uniform. So I don't know. I can't figure out why these online retailers are charging $850 when it's the first year when we don't know what the singles market will dictate. I guess pitch them high, watch them buy.
Well,
Bro,
no,
that's scary. That's
it's right on the heels of Mosaic basketball, and we saw how that did. So like, you just gotta assume it's a lot easier to start the price really high and go down than to start the price really low and go up. If it doesn't sell at $850, they can go down to $750.
Right.
If it doesn't sell at $750,
but they rarely go
can
down these days, right? I mean,
yeah, I mean, I
go
think
down a little bit.
I think there could be some. Well, though, if you don't buy it, they will go down.
Yeah.
Everybody in this industry who is either a distributor, a breaker, a shop, online retailer, they're all in the game to sell product. So if you do not buy product from them, the price will go down to it gets to a point where somebody's like, that's a good deal. I'm going to buy it. That's the price I feel comfortable at. I don't see that type of mentality from the consumer in this industry.
I agree. And just to go over some prices.
I think I just told people to stop buying.
Yeah, you say use powers in your wallet, right?
I'm so scared to know what Spectra and what Prism is going to come out at.
Right.
That is absolutely terrifying.
It is terrifying.
For football. We're talking about football, not basketball.
And I mean, is Mosaic going to take the spot of Prism and or Select? I mean, and then you even can say Spectra. Like, if they reformat Spectra like they did with baseball, or I mean with football, with basketball, then you're going to have those parallels, right?
The hype and the flip game it's really, really hot right now. I mean, it is insane. For example, last week, Fanatics they were pre-selling blasters of Donruss football for like, I think it was like $40 or something. Instantly sold out. Sold out. They were like basically putting it on the site. As fast as they put it on the site, it would sell out. And I'm like, this is a blaster of Donruss football. Like, what? This isn't a special product.
Right.
There's nothing about this that you're gonna really want to be holding on to. But I think people are just like, it's $40. It's trading cards. There's no way I'm gonna lose money. I'm going to be able to flip it for $100.
I mean, and to be, honest, it is a good rookie class. I mean, arguably better than last year's, maybe even better than 18, and probably even better than 17 coming in. Now, I'm not going to say it's better than 17 now because, of course, we've got Mahomes, we've got Watson, we've got
17 was
McCaffrey, we've got, Kamara. But I wanted to look at some of the prices. This actually surprised me. So a raw Zion out of Mosaic, silver, $500 or best offer. I thought it was closer to 1,000, so I don't know. I mean, it's ungraded. The PSA 10s are going for like $1,500. Raws are, trending around 500. So then what I did is I looked at some Prism silvers from last year because Prism is still king, right? So you had a raw Kyler Murray sell for $635, and you have arguably the runner-up. Now, I know you guys are going to say running backs just don't sell, but arguably the runner-up, Josh Jacobs, somebody's trying to get 80 for it. So this is after what Kyler did. This is after him throwing for 3,500 yards and rushing for as many yards as he did. He was the only guy doing that in the league first year in.
And staying healthy.
And staying healthy. So how is a Joe Burrow's Mosaic going to top that? To me, I think a Joe Burrow Mosaic should be around 200 to 300 a silver. So, but we're not going to have Prism out yet, so it might be a perfect storm for them because that's going to be the closest thing to Prism. People are going to gravitate and try to buy those at the beginning, and they may go for more than we think. But if a Kyler Murray's going for that, it just doesn't seem like the third or fourth tier of a product like a Mosaic is going to go for that much.
Ask yourself this. Do you think Joe Burrow is going to have as good of a year as Kyler Murray did his rookie season?
No.
I don't think so either. Kyler Murray, if his team was a little better and they won some more games, I mean, people would have really been talking about him. I think he's going to be amazing. I think he's going to be a great quarterback.
Now, if you ask me who's going to be the better pro at the end of their career, I can't confidently say Kyler Murray over Joe Burrow.
I got to see one season of Burrow in the NFL because at that point you're just speculating and guessing. We've seen what Kyler Murray can do in the NFL for one season. I think he's legit. I think he's a real deal.
It was fun to watch last year.
Yeah. I mean, the speed, the ability on the arm. I mean, you got to keep in mind this guy also got drafted first round in baseball as well. So, but let's move on and talk about some other stuff here. Well, actually, the last slide I have is the price of a Prism hobby box. So, a price of last year's Prism hobby box is $850. So, it's identical to the price of this year's upcoming Mosaic. So, I think I'd rather have the Prism, to be honest with you. But like you said earlier, that kind of scares us to think, well, what is Prism 2020 going to be? Is it going to be a $1,500 box?
Yeah, it's always been Prism football has always been one of my favorite products to rip. I mean, I like opening it more than Prism basketball. It's just a little bit more interesting to me. And it scares me to think about what, because, like generally we would get them no issues, like our cases.
We would usually get more than what we needed.
Yeah.
We would always get enough allocation where we're like, man, like, we're going to be chipping away at this Prism for a little while.
Yeah,
we're going to have it for like 6 months. Mm-hmm. And I bet that isn't the case this year.
Yeah.
I mean, how much you want to bet that we can go back and see our 17, 18, and 19 allocations compared to this year?
Mm-hmm.
I bet we get 3 cases.
But it does,
from like one distributor.
Seeing the market on the Silver Prism footballs, that does make me smile a little bit because, I've been such a advocate for Prism football for so long, and it's just been so, like, I felt like it's been undervalued for a long time. To see a Kyler Murray actually sell for like $600, that's actually pretty cool.
That's true. Yeah, they used to be a couple $100.
And because football collectors are realizing too that Prism and football silvers are actually legitimately rare.
They're super
unlike
rare. There's
basketball.
one, if I'm not mistaken,
there's one silver per
years,
box.
They changed it. Last 2 years, they've done one silver
per box. 17, all of the base cards were silver.
Yeah. Yep. So just wrap your head around that. If that is the case, and you get 18 silvers in basketball?
Parallels, I believe.
Parallels,
yeah. It could be
and then Mosaic, you get 5 silvers a box. So off the bat, it's not going to be as rare as a Prism.
But just think about that. If it's a 300 card set and you're only getting 1 silver per.
Yep.
I mean, that
we could probably compare pops on that.
That card, those silvers could be numbered to 199. Could be numbered to 299.
Look at what Patty Mahomes is going for. Then you can, if somebody has a chance of breaking out like him ever in the next 10 years, the silver would be the one card.
I think one of the best investments right now. I know we don't really talk about investments but whatnot. I think going through the 18 and 19 Prism football and picking up rookie silvers of any top quarterback.
Yeah,
true.
Yep. Look at Jacobs, my boy. Jacob, he not selling for $80 on eBay, bro.
That's crazy.
What is going on here?
Dude,
get your wallet out, man. Scoop it up.
The thing about him dude, he's a running back.
Yeah.
Like by the time you get that card and send it to PSA, he may be retired by the time you get it back.
It's true.
Because PSA, it takes a long time to get your little slab back.
I would say still undervalued, bro. just off the strength that you only get one silver a box.
I know, that is crazy. I didn't put that in perspective. Well, before we move on to Scam Alert, I did want to ask a quick question. This is on the fly for us three here. Is okay, let's just say the box is $850. So that means the case is around $9,000.
Oh God.
How much does a breaker who's doing a case break, how much do they charge for the Bengals?
You got to do the price of one
30%
box at
of the
least.
case?
$2-3 boxes?
See, because I look at it and go, we're probably going to do 6-box PYTs of it because
Yeah.
I just don't want somebody to have to pay $3,000 for the Bengals in a case break, and I actually don't think they'll sell for that much. They should. There is a question in the chat and this is, I mean, I know we're not talking basketball right now, but do you think it's a good time to sell Zion Prism cards?
Well,
right now?
you know what? That's a good lead-in because we have some statistics. I can't even talk. At the end of the show, there's actually some numbers that I put together, including talking about selling Zion in comparison to Damian Lillard and Luka. So stay tuned for that. That's coming up after the scam.
My answer is no.
But so I mean, back to that. So we're thinking, I mean, for a breaker to, because you're going to get, like, the Saints don't have a big rookie. They're going to have to sell for like $40, $50.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's going to be teams in a 6-box case, right? Or 6-box
Half case.
6-box case. Now I can't talk. It's like rubbing off like
Statistics. Contagious. Statistics.
There's certain teams that are only going to sell for $20.
Yes.
$30.
Mm-hmm.
They won't sell. So you got to get that premium for the premium teams.
Yeah.
But we don't want to sell those teams for as much as, I mean, we're not going to be able to bring in, no matter how we break it down, we're not going to be able to bring in market value. We're going to be like,
that's already happening with the Element. We're
yeah,
we're
gonna
far
be,
off what
we're gonna
Element
be well
boxes are actually
below.
selling for.
I mean, we say it all the time. We would actually make more money if we
Just
just
selling
sold
the
the boxes and cases outright.
Mhm.
By doing breaks, we leave
Sometimes
high
thousands
percentages.
of dollars. Yeah.
Well, and just to one last thing from me, from probably represents us three here, is you kind of hate to see this. Yes, everybody seems to be making money from the distributor end to us to the retail end, and even the singles are selling for more. But what happens is if Mosaic sells out at $850, then Prism gets allocated more. So us, shops, retailers get less of it because they're like, if Mosaic's going to sell at $850, then we could sell Prism for $1,200 or $1,500.
Yeah.
So that's why, yes, it's nice to make, money and everybody's making money in this industry right now. But at some point, no, people aren't going to get product.
Well, at some point, the consumer is priced out.
And that too.
There is not every collector has unlimited resources to go and buy an $850 box. Not everybody has unlimited resources to buy $200 break spots. I mean, we are basically priced at the point where we have to do $200 for a 6-box basketball mixer.
Yep.
And that's just because we have purchased it at essentially market value at this point, and we got to mixer it down. And $200 for a 6-box random mixer spot is insane. We basically do every Monday. We do a hockey mixer, and it's $46.99, and it has low end, mid, and some high end.
That's
stuff.
how we were used to be able to do football and basketball.
It's under $50.
Yeah.
So $10 or 10 boxes under 50. 6 boxes basketball. 200.
And the interesting part is that when I'm pricing out those mixers and basketball and stuff, I'm actually not even going full retail value. So there's still
you can't because then it would be 300.
Yeah, exactly. So there's that money that's left on the table, like you guys were saying, where we would make more just selling the boxes straight up, but we're breakers, so we have to break it down for you guys.
You guys stop coming to our site, and we don't do this. And
break like a dance.
Break dancing.
Break dance.
All right, it is time for the main topic of the show. It's how to avoid scams. A lot of new people coming into this hobby may fall victim to stuff like this, so we just wanted to do kind of a public service announcement on some of the main 5 scams. And I know there's probably more, that got left off of here, but these are some of the ones that I wanted to go over just to educate you guys. And you can maybe possibly pass this along to people that you know, maybe your friends that are getting in the hobby, to stay away from stuff like this. Because when there's money going through the hobby, there is more evil people that are trying to make a quick buck by doing shady, dirty, scammy things. And that's what's happening. You see it, and you see people that are falling victim of it because they're green. They think everybody in the hobby is kind and everybody's friendly, and they just want to give cards to people that want to collect that team. But there's always a shady underbelly of these guys that are selling because you're dealing with money. And I'm sure it happens in the sneaker market. I'm sure it happens in these other collectible markets as well. But my first topic, I wanted to mention hot packs. That's a big red flag. You see these hot packs on eBay from these sellers. Do not buy these. These are 99.9% of the time searched. So you can see in the first one that this guy is guaranteeing a number to 50 out of a top Series 2 hanger pack. For one, he doesn't have X-ray vision. He didn't make it himself. It's not top selling this. He doesn't know that there's a number to 50 unless he packs it himself and reseals it. So what he does is he finds one of the cheapest number to 50 cards, puts it in the pack, and then doubles his price and sells it to somebody. And then somebody's like, oh, cool, I got a number to 50 just as promised. Well, no, he just doubled his money off you. So you're also seeing stuff like guaranteed patch or relic. Now, this could be fingered at the target and, somebody pack filling it up. Are you condoning that kind of action if you're buying this from this guy? I don't think so. So don't buy any hot packs. You also have this one that's been floating on eBay. I think we even did it on the last scammer thing. It's a 2009 Topps Allen and Ginter, and you're guaranteed a hair relic, which George Washington's on the checklist. There's no way that the hair relics are like 1 in like 500,000 packs. There's no way this person knows there's a hair relic in there without knowing which hair relic it is. So what he did is he bought like a $100 one off of eBay, which there was some recent sales. He packed it back up. He's selling it for $300. So he just took his $100 and he's going to make $300 on somebody that's like, cool, I got a hair relic of, I don't know, Steve-O. It's cool. I got a Steve-O hair relic. Well, you just got screwed. And then these ones, unlike people that are doing buybacks, that are doing it the right way, there's people that do mystery packs, and they show off a few cards. They show off like this gentleman. And I'm not saying this one's shady, but I'm just saying buyer beware. He's showing some Lamar Jackson Crusade rookies and some Saquons as the chase. How do we know that he just didn't ship one off to his buddy that has the main card, and for $12.99, you got a $4 card? There's no transparency. They're not numbered. He doesn't random them. When we do our buybacks, we film Dan numbering the boxes. We do them all up front. There's only 25 cases made, and we random them every time for transparency. So there's no way for us to know what's coming out of each case because it's done that way. These people on eBay are probably not doing that. What's to stop him from somebody that buys 100 of them? He gives them the chase card, and then you get the $4 card. So any input on any of these hot packs?
Well, I'm just going to reiterate what you were saying, because when you're showing those hot packs, I think people need to understand that they probably don't understand what you're saying. You're like, it's a hot pack. How is he what's he doing? Like, the pack doesn't look like it's open. Well, what they're doing is that they're opening the pack very carefully. And then they're putting the guaranteed card in there. Mm-hmm. And then they're resealing the pack. They're either gluing it or doing something. So when you get it, it's probably going to be really tough to open. Most of the time, it's probably going to be, harder adhesive than they actually used, especially on that Allen and Ginter. Allen and Ginter packs kind of disintegrate on contact. So, but what they're doing is that they're actually opening up the packs, inserting the guaranteed card that's in there, which I can guarantee you is not going to be more than what the pack is worth 100% of the time. And then they're just selling it.
Right.
So they are truly opening up and resealing the packs.
Yeah, there's no way around that. So, yeah, and that's what they mean by a hot pack, is that you could go to Target and buy 300 packs and never get a number to 50 card. This person is guaranteeing you a number to 50 card. And there's a lot. And surprisingly, these guys have great feedback, and it amazes me. And that just shows you that there's a lot of just new customers that they're like, well, I got my number to 50. Very cool. That's awesome. And they're moving on. Well, this guy probably opened up all these packs, took all the good stuff out, and then he's trying to recop some of his money here. So moving on to the next category is scammers selling cards and how to avoid them and what you should do to prevent yourself from getting scammed by somebody. There's a lot of Facebook groups out there. there's a lot of forums where people are selling cards. John P. in Missouri, he's got a Mahomes card, and he's selling it. It just seems like a good price. For one, if it seems too good, you have to question that. For two, there's several ways to protect yourself. So, for example, this guy was selling a $350 Mike Trout, which is very low, number 2 of 5. If you get in contact and you're interested in buying this card from him, the first thing I would do before you even talk about the money is make sure you get multiple pictures of the card. And if the guy puts you off a couple days, then you don't want to deal with him. Because it's very obvious in the internet era that you can take pictures from other people and try to sell cards for a quick buck that you don't even have in your hand. This person could have taken this Mike Trout card from another Facebook forum and then put it on this other Facebook forum and is trying to sell it and basically just take a quick buck from you and then never ship the card. So ask for other angles. That's number one. Show me another angle. Show me the back. Show me this. Show me that. Like I had a guy that bought our LeBron James. He wanted 10 or 15 other pictures. That's pretty standard. I can take pictures for him right away because I have the card in hand. Secondly, obviously, and this is the biggest mistake, is do not send PayPal friends and family. You're screwed. You'll never get your money back. Always send goods and services. If the person doesn't want the PayPal fees, which is usually like 2 to 3%, if they don't want to cover that, you cover it. It's like insurance. So if they're like, it's $350 firm, and I don't want to pay the PayPal fees, so you need to give me friends and family, send them $360. That covers the fees. It's $10 for peace of mind on you getting the card. Because if you don't get the card and you did goods and services, you can file a claim. You'll get your money back.
And I can tell you right now, once you add that fee to it, if it is a scam, it'll be crickets. You will not hear from that person anymore because they're not looking for somebody who's going to do goods and services. They know that they don't have the card. You're never going to actually physically get the card. They don't have the card. So once you say goods and services, they will give you every excuse that they possibly can to get you to send friends and family. So I love that comeback of I will cover the fees.
Yeah, and it's almost like they make it seem like it's 30% or something. It's so minimal that if they don't want to take it, then you know right away that is a red flag that you need to move on and try to find that card somewhere else. So, and another thing is if you are shipping, and even if you do send goods and services, make sure if this person sends you goods and services and you're selling a card, so either vice versa, make sure you ship it to the address that's on PayPal because then PayPal will protect you. So if this guy's buying something from you and goes, hey, could you, you know what, I don't want my wife to see my mail, so could you go ahead and ship that to this address? You could be screwed. He could get your card and get his money back. So be very aware of that aspect of it, that if you're going to ship somebody a card and they pay you, ship it to the address on file.
Yeah, like say if they're all, ship it to my work instead of the address that's on my PayPal. If you do that, you will not be covered.
Yeah, absolutely. And, vouchers is another thing. If you're starting to deal with a card, like you're trying to buy a Zion for $10K, at that point, maybe you need to say, who do you have vouchers? So that means that people that they've already sold stuff to. So they can go ahead and vouch for them. So, I mean, a lot of scammers can't come up with that. So that'll be another red flag. So do your due diligence and just make sure, do all these things. If you're doing, the main thing is if you're doing PayPal goods and services, that should be the only form of payment you deal with when you're buying and selling cards, because Venmo, Zelle, all that stuff, I don't think you'll be able to get your money back.
Cash App.
Am I wrong or am I right?
I think you're right.
I think you're right. Cash App seems to be a really, really popular one in the scam world. I think Cash App, it's gone. You'll never see it again. But I've seen a lot of people try to ask for Cash App when they're about ready to scam somebody.
Yep.
So that should actually be a red flag as well, is that the first thing they say is Cash App.
Yep. And another thing, I've even called people because, if it's a scammer, they're probably not going to want to put a voice on there. They're just behind the keyboard. They're trying to get a quick buck. They don't want to talk to somebody. They don't want anybody to have their phone number, right? And then at that point, you can also see their area code and see if it matches with where the card's coming from as well. So there's all these little things to protect yourself. If you really want the card and it's too good to be true, do a bunch of research before you give people these money, because there's more and more of these guys coming out every day. Anything else to add between the two?
Well, again, and also reiterating if the price is too good to be true, if you basically are buying a card where without a doubt you're going to be able to flip it on eBay for double of what you paid for it, it's a scam.
Yeah.
Because everybody in the card community, not everybody, 99% of them, there's still 1% out there that refuses to use eBay, but they use eBay. They have access to eBay, and they will flip the card themselves on eBay instead of selling it to you.
You're not going to leave that much money on the
half
table.
the price.
Exactly.
I mean, I could see getting a card for, and they call it comps, like comparable prices of sold listings on eBay. I can see getting a card for maybe 15, 20% less than what comps are, because if you take the PayPal fees and the shipping expense and the eBay fees, final value fees, listing fees, it kind of balances out to be about the same. But if you get to the point where a card, somebody's offering you a card for $200, and then you go on eBay and there's like 10 of them that are sold for $1,000, you're getting scammed.
Yep. And go with your gut. A lot of times your gut is correct. I know we've been in this industry for 10 years, and ours was more a scamming on an end of maybe somebody got somebody's credit card, stuff like that. But we usually can sense it. We can usually see the buying pattern. We're like, this doesn't make sense. Listen to your gut. I mean, if you're a big Nick Bosa collector like me and you're like, that's my dream card, and you're jaded by that, listen to your gut first, because it's not worth doing this, fighting this, losing your money, and giving the scammer more ammo to scam more people, right? So just listen to your gut a lot of times. Next one I want to talk about is group submissions, and this one was kind of new to me. I didn't even think about this one. So what's happening, especially because of the delay in group submissions in Beckett and PSA. Now, what I mean by submissions, group submissions, is it's one guy who's taking like 50 customers' cards. He gets a better rate with BGS or PSA. He sends in 300 cards, and he facilitates it for you as a customer because maybe you only wanted one card. Well, this is what's happening. So let's just say you have a Luka, and you give it to John, an 18-19 Luka base. You give it to John, group submission. You've heard about him. You see him on Facebook and Twitter. He's grading cards. So this is what could happen. This is a real thing. When you're dealing with cards that aren't numbered, he could basically get back your card that's a PSA 10, and he could go out on eBay and buy a PSA 9 and look at the difference in value here. You're talking about an $865 card compared to a $220 card. So he just made $500. He said, oh, here's your card. It came back a 9. And you may be stoked. You're like, well, I didn't expect a 10. Thank you. And you're oblivious to it. The card's not numbered, so it could be very easily swapped out. Or maybe he submitted 3 Lukas with your 3 Lukas, and you don't know that because you're not seeing the paperwork of what he submitted in. And his came back a 9, and yours came back a 10. And he's like, well, I should get some more money for what I did. So he swaps you out. So I would only submit base cards yourself. If you're dealing with a numbered card, then obviously he can't replace your card, right? But non-numbered cards, I would never do group submissions because it's too easy to swap them out. Or maybe the guy's just unorganized and he has 5 Lukas from 5 different customers, and then he's like, oh crap.
How would you know the difference?
You wouldn't.
You would have no idea. So the person who's doing the submission is probably going to look at the ones that are 10s and go, well, those are mine, or those are my buddies.
Right.
And this is going to go to that guy. Like, there's no way to distinguish which one was which. This right here is hopefully something, for the sake of the industry, is not something that is common. I hope it isn't. But
you've heard rumblings about it, and maybe just disgruntled customers.
The way you just broke it down is so simple. It's so simple to do, especially with the value we're putting on base cards. Basketball base cards, Zion, Luka, Trae Young, LeBron James, that are not numbered. Even the silvers that are parallels are not numbered. I mean, and you could start getting even crazier with, I know some of the inserts are even like shorter print, but they're not numbered, but you can still get another one. Like, I mean, not to say that you would go out and buy another Color Blast, but you could. If you basically submitted a Zion Color Blast and one got a 10 and you found one on eBay that's a 9, well, you're just going to come up thousands of dollars.
Well, one thing that you can, and I'm not exactly sure if you can see it on the pop report, is, and that's another thing, just to protect yourself, when you get that card back from said group submission guy, if you do trust him, check the pop report on that number. There should be a date when it was graded. So if it doesn't correspond, If it doesn't correspond with the date that you gave him the card, then obviously he bought it and then switched your
But
card
that would be really difficult to do with
the delays.
the Lucas. There's so many of them. There's so many that are getting some like submitted. Same thing with the Zions, like the LeBrons, like the Color Blast. Yeah, probably because there's only a handful of them, or like Galactics or stuff like that. There's not a ton of them coming in, but I mean they're probably seeing hundreds.
I think there's. I want to say because we have it later in the segment. I believe there's 17,000 graded Luka base.
So
that's plentiful.
And they could be seen. They're seeing more than one a week.
Yeah,
I can guarantee you that it could be 5 a week, 10 a week, 20 a week.
I have a question. How do these people who take big group submissions, how do they separate like different customers trying to grade the same base card?
That's what we're talking about. Like how would you do that?
Probably.
But how would you answer that? Like how do these guys answer the people that submit with them? What answer do you think they give them? Like if I go to a big group submitter, I'm like, hey,
but you're not as a person who's using a submitter who's doing a group submission for you. Are you going to ask him, hey, is there other like Lucas that are?
You probably should.
You probably should. But he's probably going to be like, I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know.
The right thing to do, and this is just off the top of the dome, if I was a group submitter and somebody's like, I got 10 Luka base to submit, can I make it this time around? I'd be like, I already have a guy that submitted 5, so you're going to have to wait for the next submission.
Well, that would be
the right thing to do.
The right way to do it would be to turn somebody away if you already have somebody submitting that exact card.
Right.
Or because let's face it, these group submissions, the people who do it, they do it to get a better rate for themselves
as well. Yeah.
And they probably charge everybody a little bit more than what they're paying, so they're making money on it, which is fine. I'm not faulting them for that. And at the end of the day, they're probably saving enough money, making enough money to basically grade their own cards on that same rate that they're getting. Yep. So I would say most group submitters are they're absolutely as a rake. They're absolutely making money. I don't know how much, but they absolutely are. But it would be a major concern, and they're not going to want to turn people away, but it would be a major concern for me if somebody sent in one customer sent in 5 Lucas, and then I had 3 Lucas that I wanted to submit. You might as well be like, and worse yet, like what if the submitter themselves have Lucas that they're submitting? I could guarantee you when they come back and there's like 3 9s, the submitter isn't going to take those 9s.
Right.
That the group submitter is going to absolutely take the 10s and going to distribute the 9s.
Or if you're a guy that's new and you submitted 1, and then you have the guy has a large customer that submits 200 a month, and you're probably going to want to, it's human nature for that person to try to take care of their larger customer, right? So that's the problem. And so stay away from, base cards and group submitting. I'm not saying there's probably most of these guys are on the up and up. I'm not accusing the whole group submission industry of this, but you can see how easy it is to do. So just be very aware when you're doing that. Now, if you're going to submit a blue Luka, number to 199 or whatever, or number to 99, whatever they're number to, then you obviously know that's number 52 out of 99. There's no foolery going on.
That can't be switched. Yeah, I mean, and this really does break down to non-numbered cards. Numbered cards, by all means, go for it, because there's no way. I mean, you got a stamp right on the back that tells you exactly what card it is.
Yep. And then we've got buying autos on cards. I didn't know how to really correctly to put that on there, but I'm talking more about the in-person autos that you see that people fall victim for all the time. I'm talking about a base card, as you can see the slide, the Michael Jordan, the Kobe Bryant. So these are cards that did not come out of a pack signed. They came out as a base card, and then somebody supposedly met Michael Jordan somewhere and had him sign this. Well,
bro, that right one, bro.
That Kobe, I know that
takes
terrible,
me out, bro.
Well, and
that's his own signature.
Yeah, exactly. And it's $300 or best offer on the Kobe.
Bro.
Yeah, so that is actually, I didn't even see that. That is blatantly bad. So it's Kobe's old auto on a newer card. So duh. So this guy has been practicing the wrong auto. So that just shows you that most criminals are not very smart. That's why they're criminals. So don't fall victim to this. And tell your friends and family if they're buying you a card for your birthday or your, anniversary or whatever. Only buy pack pulled like Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, Leaf maybe. I mean, those are the main ones. Don't buy these because they seem like a good deal. Yeah, Kobe's Auto sells for $1,000. Wow, I can get one for $300. What's the difference? Well, this is some dude in his basement practicing Kobe's Auto for a couple weeks at a time.
Practicing his old one.
Maybe not even a couple weeks. That might have been the first go at it. And then they're selling it for $300 when they bought that base card for, I don't know, $1. So that's, $298 in profit. I mean, you're seeing it with, look at the Mike Trout, $70. Look at the Tom Brady. It's terrible. That's not even Tom Brady's autograph. $500. That's greed. That is criminal greed right there. A Tom Brady Bowman 2008 for $500, and that is nowhere close to any of Tom Brady's autographs. So just like I said, this should go. A lot of people are saying you shouldn't even have to say this. Well, there's
people that buy these.
There's people that buy these.
1,000%.
You can see the sold listings, and all you can do is just feel bad for these people that they kind of fell victim to this. I mean, anything to add to this topic here?
No.
Yeah, I want to say to that person that did the Kobe Auto, I want to smack you in the face.
I don't. I mean, I understand how people get duped on it. Look at the title. Look, the title is basically tells you exactly what you want it to say.
Kobe Bryant Auto.
It's very easy to convince yourself if something's such a good deal that it has to be legit. So yeah, just stay away from it. I mean, I don't know how to see. It's difficult though. I mean, we know because we look at cards. We see autographed cards that are pack pulled every single day. A lot of people out there don't. So they don't know what a pack pulled autograph would look like. So I could see why that would be confusing.
Well, here's the thing too. This is one way you can protect yourself. Join some of these good Facebook groups. Go on the Blowout forum. Join our community. Either fans of Mojobreak, or you can jump in on a live feed or hit us up on Twitter. At any point you're thinking about buying one of these, just ask. I bet you 99% of all the people that are in this hobby will tell you right away, hey, don't buy that. That is fake. That is absolutely fake. So last topic I wanted to talk about is reprints and fakes. There's a lot of things going on eBay, and there's some just really just scummy people. So as you can see here, this is actually one of the most faked cards that I come across, and it's the 2017 Contenders, Patrick Mahomes. The Optic Contenders, even more so. I don't know why they chose to do that. But as you can see on the left here, the Patrick Mahomes Contenders rookie card, cracked ice auto for $25. That is a $75,000 card, I think, off the top of my dome. It's a very, very, very expensive card. This person's selling it for $74.99. But what they do that's so scummy, and I hate this, is they put RP in the title, which RP could mean anything. It could be right-handed pitcher. It could mean, the guy's name could have those initials. This card set could have it. So instead of putting reprint, the first thing should say reprint. They want to fool you. They want you to click on this and buy it thinking that you're getting the steal of the century, when in terms this card probably costed 50 cents to make. And then what's even scummier, as you can see on the right side, is they're doing it as an auction. I have no problem with people selling reprints. You're obviously in violation of the league trademarks, but sell it for like $4, $2.99 or $3.99.
Well, the cracked ice one is it's a sponsored listing.
Yeah.
So I mean that means that seller is doing some pretty substantial volume.
Yep.
With eBay.
Yep. Well, no, anybody can sponsor, but you have to pay.
But you have to pay. But usually, unless you're generating a fair amount of income on what you're doing, you're not going to sponsor and pay for your listings to show up.
Exactly.
So you're not going to be like, man, I never sell any of these. I'm just going to throw a bunch of money behind it.
So that's even more scummy, is the fact that this person's paying to have more eyeballs look at this, so they can sell them a fake card.
And that basically tells me that a lot of people are getting duped, and a lot of people are buying them.
And then you even see what happens too is somebody buys this for $74.99, and then they for whatever reason, you should be able to return it, but they're not, and then they auction it. Because they're like, well, let me see what happens. It turns them into a scammer because they're like, well, it kind of looks real. Let me throw it up as an auction. And then they do what this guy did on the right with the shadow box, which is it's got 2 days left. You can't tell me that people, the 8 bids on this, that all 8 bidders think it's fake. They probably think it's real, so they're throwing the bid in there because it looks pretty dang real.
I'll tell you another thing that is really tough, because if you're like me, I do a lot of my eBay, looking and buying on my phone. And when on my app, when I'm going through, a lot of times when I see the picture of the card, I don't see the full listing of it until I click on it.
Yeah.
So I look at
exactly.
it. Like,
you don't even see the RP on there.
So you don't even see. So they always put RP at the end. So if you're on the mobile app, you won't even see it when you're like looking at the card itself.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another thing. And it's not a coincidence that they don't put the RP in the front of the title. They know that, so they put it at the end of the title, so you will not notice it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and then you could even see what I did last. There's Aaron Judge for $56 with the RP. Obviously, whoever bid on that.
I bought an Aaron Judge.
Yeah, we bought one on accident.
I bought an Aaron Judge on my app, and I was like,
wasn't it like $1,800?
And it was at an auction, and it was up to like, we were doing a buyback, and it was up to like $1,500, and I pepper in bids here and there to see what happens, and I won it for like $1,800, and didn't even see the RP on my phone, and went to go pay for it. Actually paid for it on my phone, and looked at it the next day, and I was like, whoa, I'm all, this is a reprint. Sent the guy a message, and I'm like, this is a reprint. I'm not spending $1,800 on a reprint of this card when I basically just paid what this card would be worth if it wasn't a reprint.
Well, then he said, well,
he's like, it's kind of your fault for not reading the description.
Well, then he said, well, this card sells for $10,000. Would you think you'd win it for $1,800? And it's like,
no, that was the Kevin Durant.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, but it's like, how do you know we didn't put a top bid at $10,000?
No, that was LeBron James. It was a LeBron James SP Authentic.
That's right, for like $400.
It was a LeBron James SP Authentic. The one I'm talking about it was a Aaron Judge 2013 Bowman, and the guy basically got mad at me for not reading his description, where he did actually put it was a reprint. I don't remember if he actually put RP in the title, but he did say it was a reprint in the description. I don't know about you guys. Everybody uses these generic copy and paste for their descriptions. I don't even read them. I will read the title. I'll read the subtitle. I don't read the description.
If you're selling reprints, which you shouldn't, but if you're selling reprints, you should, 1, never do them in auction because that's scummy. For 2, you should spell reprint. There's enough characters on the eBay description.
Look at that one right there. Look how many characters were left.
Right. He put it at the end.
He put RP.
And then same thing with the Mahomes.
But he could have.
But he had a lot more.
He had a lot. I mean, he could have put reprint. He could have put it like 8 times.
Like, how does that make you feel? Like, I'm going to come over on somebody. I'm going to come up on this card I either made or I paid $2 for. I'm going to come up because nobody's going to know until they pay for it. It's too late. Well, dude, how do you go about your life that way?
And what does happen is somebody can unknowingly buy that card thinking it is legit, not knowing it's a reprint, truly not knowing it's a reprint, especially if they pay close to market value, like the Aaron Judge that I bought. I paid close to market value. There's no reason why I would think because it went for that price that it would be not legit.
Right.
So I get it. And let's say I end up selling it to somebody else. Well, that person, I'm going to sell it for either close to what I bought it for or maybe even more. Then I sell it to them. And then they have it. They bought it for market value. It goes through multiple hands. Nobody is going to think that it is actually a reprint.
Yeah.
Until you basically submit it to BGS or PSA. But PSA, you don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know.
As we said in the last podcast, check that one out.
You don't know.
Check that one out and possibly win a box of Topps Chrome. Plug. And then lastly, these ones have been floating around a lot. I don't know who's behind this company, but obviously there's multiple violations. It's the Iconic Inc., and they do every single hot player. So you can see they've used the full Chiefs logo on the Patrick Mahomes card, the Mike Trout full logo, everything. Now, these are the right prices, I guess, but why would you buy these, right? $4.90 for a rare Mahomes card or $3.45.
didn't Panini come out and didn't this get squashed?
Apparently not. All you got to do is look on eBay. There's a million of them, and there's multiple sellers, so that you have to. I think Panini has to go after the source. Well, it's like one of those things that you don't know where the source is. It's like open network or somebody's printing them and then distributing them.
They don't have any value. I guess they have the value of whatever you paid for it, but they don't have any collector's value.
Yeah, Joe asked in the chat. I know it's custom listed, but my question is, do these really have any true value? And it's worth the cardboard that it's printed on, basically. And I don't see anything wrong if you're like making a collage and you don't have, $7,000 for a Mahomes card, and you want to just buy one for $3 or $4. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. But doing it as a auction and trying to pull the wool over collectors' eyes, putting RP, which could be similar to SP, maybe some people don't even see it. Yep. You're doing it, shadily. And what do you have to say about the scammers, C-Rad, that are doing these with the RPs and the fake cards?
The only one that really got me hot was the Kobe one, honestly. But yeah, like it's I feel bad for the people that are actually like end up buying these that think they're buying like actual autographs. So
yeah, it's sad.
It's whack.
Well,
that design right there, it's not a terrible looking card design.
No, it's
I got to give them a little bit of credit. I've seen worse card designs
from manufacturers.
Yes,
straight off the press.
So I know we're running short on time. We're supposed to be getting in some breaks, so I want to go over this last segment, and I know C-Rad's been itching to get into this segment as well. We want to talk about a little Dame time. Dame Dalla had a huge game and beat the Lakers, and I think they're playing again tonight. So it's going to be – we'll see what happens. We'll see how LeBron responds. But I was going over some numbers on some Prism cards, so I want to run through all these real quick, and then I want to have C-Rad kind of add to it. So Dame's cards have jumped overnight throughout this week. He had that 50-point game, and or not 50. Yeah, did he have a 50-point game?
60 point, 50 point, 40.
Yeah, so he's going nuts, right? And they were an A seed, which doesn't seem like their team's an A seed. But so you're seeing base Prisms ungraded as of yesterday, $600 for a base Prism. Not a silver. And keep in mind, the 12-13 season, it was a double rookie class. They didn't put the rookie card logo on there, but this is his rookie card. And then you look at the silver Prisms, you look at the Gem 10 base Prisms, not even silver yet. And a lot of two of them sold for $5,800. So that means a PSA 10 base Prism of Lillard is now around $2,700. So that's crazy. And then you look at the silver Prisms, and they're almost just out of this world now. So you've got a silver PSA 10, somebody wants $15K, and a 9.5 silver, somebody wants $14K.
It's the same price.
It's around the same price, but I know you're the PSA. You love BGS.
Same price, and like one is flimsy and chintzy, and the other one's beefy and nice.
So here's what blew my mind. Mind blown. Might blow your mind too. I went to the Pop Report, and I was astounded. So this is the PSA 10s. There's only 28 PSA 10 silvers. 28, not 280, not 2,800. 28 PSA 10 silvers. There is only 85 BGS 9.5s. So there's a little over 100 of the 9.5s and the 10s. That's it. That is so minuscule that actually $15K seems like a good deal, because you start looking at Luka and you start looking at Zion. So you look at Luka's total 9.5 BGS and 10 PSAs. There's 4,073 Lukas right now. For Zion, there's 2,200. And the reason that is there's probably 5,000 or 6,000 waiting to be graded. So that's the only thing I can contribute there. Let's revisit this in 4 months and see what Zions are up to. I think the Zions are going to be like at 8,000. So you're talking. There's
still some 1920 Prism that is sealed.
Correct. That's that too.
Probably more 1920 Prism. There's a lot of different variations of it than 1819. 1819, to find a case of 1819 Prism hobby, pretty difficult. It's out there, but I could find a 1920 hobby case right now. They're out there.
Mm-hmm. So Luka Prism Silver PSA 10, $8,500 currently on the market. Zion Gem Mint 10 PSA 10 Silver Prism, $5,000. but these are like astronomically higher pop report numbers than Lillard. Lillard literally has 125 of them. That's it. And you can't say there's too many boxes that are left unopened. There may be people might have some raw ones in shoe boxes that haven't been graded, but this is insane. So what this tells me is absolutely sell Luka at this point because there's 4,000 of these. How in the heck, if he has one down year, are these going to continue to stay at 8,500? So I wanted to move all. I know I just put a lot there. You have to a lot to extrapolate, but I wanted to ask you what your thoughts on this whole topic.
That tells me that
like a Kawhi laugh right there.
Yeah.
That tells me that there's somebody out there with a whole lot of silver Damian Lillards in their collection. Because
Not graded though.
not graded.
Ooh, dude, we know that in 12-13 when Lillard was a rookie,
Yeah.
there wasn't as many silvers,
That's
and
true.
also people didn't view the silvers as anything more than a base card.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a chance that people would be like, silver, I'm just gonna throw it in a box and donate it. Where nobody is doing that 18, 19, 19,
Right.
20.
Right. Yeah, there's definitely. I mean, obviously, I don't think there's as much as there is of Luka and Zion, but I do feel like, remember, people were collecting Lillard, all these years, and there's probably a couple big Damian Lillard collectors out there that have a lot of them raw, right? There's just, and like you said, there's probably a lot of them sitting in just random people's shoe boxes as well. Shoot, man.
I mean, let's ask you this: would you rather have these two cards or one Damian Lillard silver?
Ooh, that's a good question. One Dame silver, I guess. Based on the fact that there isn't a lot of them out there, and because I am a huge, obviously a huge Lillard fan.
That's it. That's actually it.
Yeah, that's a tough question.
That's actually very similar to last week's with the 3 Topps Chrome Roberts or the one one first Bowman.
I mean, because at the end of the day, those are still, it's a supply and demand thing. There's way more Lucas and Zions, but there's still way more demand for those cards that we have on the screen.
I love the fact that the pop report on the Dame stuff is so low. It just seems like a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as an investment and a risk in investment, I would actually go with the Luka and the Zion because
you have double the chances.
You have double the chance. So,
yes.
I mean, if Dame basically loses a step or starts having ankle problems or knee problems or something like that, there goes your investment on that one card. With Luka and Zion, if one of them basically turns out to be a subpar player, you still have a chance at the other one being a superstar.
That's a good point. And for me, my answer is simply majority of it is because I'm just a huge Lillard fan, so that's why I would take the Lillard, knowing that there's so little of it. And that's just like from a PC perspective where I'm going to keep that anyways, regardless, and not even think about selling it. But yeah, like from the way to your point, Dan, I from an investment standpoint, I probably would take those two over the
Seems
Lillard.
like a less of a risk, but I love. I mean, it's crazy the difference in pop report between those players is nuts. I mean, think about it. Think about it. There is under 200 Dame Lillard silver 9.5 BGS or 10. Just think about it.
I have one. We have one.
Just think about how low that number is compared. I mean, at that point, at $15,000, if you really do believe in Dame Lillard, at $15,000 on that silver that Doug was just showing us, that's a no-brainer buy.
Yeah. Did you have
No, I'm like, if you have that money and you're like looking for an investment, I think that's a no-brainer. If you're a big basketball collector and you're really into Dame Lillard, I think it's a no-brainer.
Did you look up the power report for his peers from that draft class? Like
I did not. I want to do a whole show on that because I think we did a show and there could have been a few more. I would imagine Giannis silvers are around 180.
I would imagine there's more. There's probably a little bit more AD, Kyrie's, and Kawhi's rated than Damian Lillard
we should
from that
definitely
year.
check that out. And Ziggy points out that there was a gold prism Kawhi that just sold for $100,000. So, I mean,
Beautiful.
only 10 of them in the world. I mean, that pop obviously will not grow larger than 10.
I know Kawhi has a couple titles and is one of the best players in the league. I personally like Dame Lillard over Kawhi.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I mean, Damian Lillard is probably one of the greatest rapper athletes of all time, probably the greatest. I mean,
Last year player
he's
too.
not a WB. He doesn't blame things. He goes out there. He's been taking his lumps in Portland for
He
years.
lets his game do the talking.
And it's they finally got a decent team around him. I
Yep.
mean, you got Carmelo, who's aging, but it's good guy coming off the bench. You've seen what Whiteside did last night with the 5 blocks. You got McCollum that can take over a game.
Nurkic is actually a legit center now too.
So it almost feels like it's like a 1 versus 2 battle as opposed to 1 versus 8. That's what's confusing to me. But
yeah, I think unfortunately, I don't think the Blazers take the Lakers. I think the Lakers just put it together. That team, AD and LeBron, going to be really tough to beat. Those two guys together. I don't care about the rest. I mean, Kuzma's good, but those two guys together is very, very difficult to beat. I don't know. I don't know if the Blazers quite have enough firepower to keep up with them.
Go Blazers in 5.
And that's a good question before we end the show. I know you guys are we're waiting.
Lakers in 5.
We're waiting. We're waiting on see what happens. But that's a good point. We're waiting to get the break. Sorry, we're ending it here shortly for you guys that are waiting on the breaks. But Lillard, there's a shot he doesn't ever get a ring. So does that affect his long-term value? I think it does, because if you look at the top 10 players that the NBA always comes up with, it's guys that all have rings. So, but you never know. I mean, he may go to another team at some point. He may come home to the Dubs. He may be playing with Curry and Clay. You don't know. But you got to respect what he's done, how he stuck with Portland, and how he could shoot from dang half court. He's an electric player to watch, and from the outside looking in, that is the type of player you want to invest in. It's just. Not his fault he's on the right team. So
he's on the right team this year.
You think so?
Blazers in 5.
No.
I'm saying the Blazers in 7.
Okay,
Call me crazy.
Lakers in 5.
7.
Lakers.
You know what?
You guys gonna make a bet? What are you guys gonna risk?
Lakers in 5.
No, I'm not gonna make a bet. I root for the Lillard family.
I'll bet you the Sean Mannion collection against the Brandon Clark.
But I wouldn't be mad. Obviously, Lakers should, if you they should win the series. But I'm rooting for the Blazers. I wouldn't be mad if Lakers win this year.
Yep.
For Kobe.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. Yep. Ziggy said congrats on 150 shows. It doesn't seem like it's been 150. It seems like we just started this like last week, but. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you guys subscribe to our new channel, Mojobreak Media. We got a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline. Not just sports. We're even going to maybe do some stuff on music. It's going to be just a channel that just is content as opposed to breaks. So if you're buying breaks, obviously this is the channel, Mojobreak. But if you want to watch content, Mojobreak Media.
I know it doesn't feel like it, but it feels like that our very first episode of Hype was the Lonzo Ball one, because that was just like the biggest.
It was, yeah.
Was that the first episode?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Lonzo Ball was the first episode.
No,
I thought that was the second episode.
No.
Yeah, it was 100%.
Well, of the hype.
Of the hype, yeah,
Of the hype.
no,
Yeah,
yeah, of the hype.
As I'm all, dude, I swear we did like 4,000 shows before that.
Yes, i.e. Jeff, we did the 5 scams probably about midway through the show, so you can go ahead and rewind. But it will be available here, and we're actually going to segment that out as a separate video on the Mojobreak Media channel. But that's all we got for today, guys. We got to get into some breaks. Brand new Certified comes out on Friday, as well as our Mojo Rare Numbers. And then C-Rad's pretty much breaking all night. We got lots of stuff. Sterling. I think you're doing some hockey. So that's going to be crazy.
You doing a little Ultimate Collection hockey?
Yeah.
Oh, C-Rad doing
awesome.
some hockey. Get ready.
I heard there's a good hockey player named Wayne Gretzky out there.
We finally got the hockey guy doing some hockey.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in once again. You guys follow us at Twitter, Mojobreak_com, as well as Instagram at Mojobreak_com as well. Peace out. Oh, you have it too?
I didn't know when you wanted to schedule it, because you had archives number 2.
We actually we only have
be why.
Just maybe refresh it at the top.
Okay.
It should still be able to give you the. Yeah, you know what's been weird is 2 weeks in a row the show has been double on
Oh, that's
live
weird.
feed. I don't know how it's happening.
Is it because I don't have maybe the start time here?
Oh yeah, maybe.
That's probably what it is. There we go. That's probably why. It's jumping around. Okay, cool.
Then hit upload.
Public
see if
and
it does that.
upload.
It's the strangest thing because I did it twice where it'd be like
Cool.
an hour and 50 minutes, and then I'm like, how is it an hour and 50 minutes? Did I
Yeah.
do this? And it skips and it goes back to like another segment and it does it all over again. But I've been able to pull the video and edit
Yeah.
stuff. So.
Okay, looks like it's all good.